Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's video. First of all, I want to thank you all very much for your best wishes and inquiries into my health situation. It's still ongoing, but I'll let you know as things develop. I'm going to do a video today looking at weather for 8 to 10 days time. We've got more blocking areas of high pressure forming by the look of it, and winds could well go into the east as we go into the 8 to 10 day period. Now, before I go on video, I just want to talk about the advertising. There'll usually be a video ad overlaying my weather videos at GavsWeatherVids.com. So please play most of the ads. You'll be supporting GavsWeatherVids.com if you do that. So these are the 500 millibar height anomaly charts for 8 to 10 days time. I've got the ECMWF here on the left, the GFS is on the right. 500 millibars, 80,000 feet, the important area in the atmosphere, because that's where we've got high pressure and low pressure developing. And it's just those areas of high pressure and low pressure areas get moved around by the jet stream running above, but we really get our weather. So the red and orange areas indicate above average heights, but blue areas indicating below average heights. That extrapolates to high pressure and low pressure. So this is the anomaly from the ECMWF first of all. And that's showing that in 8 to 10 days time we have this big area of above average heights to the north of British Isles and a big area of below average heights to the south, and we've got the jet stream here tracking well to the south of the country. So these areas of low pressure will be bringing possibility of snow into southern parts of the country in 8 to 10 days time. This blocking area of high pressure feeding down the cold air from the Arctic. If you have a look at the GFS, it's very similar, but there are some subtle differences. The blocking isn't quite as far north. The blocking area of above average heights isn't quite as far north, and the low pressure systems are not tracking quite as far south with this either. So this is more of a drier anticyclonic type setup from the GFS. If we have a look at the actual model from the GFS, we can see that in fact that is what the model is going for. Here's the chart for next Tuesday, Tuesday the 19th of February. The high pressure there is more or less slack across the country. It's probably giving us quite a spring-like feeling as we go into the middle of next week. That remains the case. But then let's go beyond that. The high pressure does start to move more towards the north, more towards Scandinavia, but it's still not really feeding in a cold flow, although by the time we get through to 10 days out, which is Sunday the 24th, there are indications that that high pressure is building up over the Greenland and Iceland area. If you have a look at the ECMWF, remember that had a more northern blocking really on the height anomaly chart. We can see the generic model is indicating that even on Tuesday the 19th, the high pressure is quite far north, that northern blocking area of high pressure. As we go beyond that, then we start to bring in this easterly wind through the middle of next week. That wind is going to be quite cold, and even further beyond that, the high pressure then starts to move up towards Greenland and Iceland, as these areas of low pressure are forming down to the south. So this is the chart for 10 days away, Sunday the 24th of February, and we see that low pressure is tracking well to the south, the high pressure tracking well to the north. This is a proper negative NAO type setup, a very cold setup this would be, or very cold for the time of year, not as cold as if it had happened in January, but a very cold setup for the time of year, and this low pressure to the south would be almost certainly bringing the risk of some snow. Finally, having a look at the GEM, the Canadian model, seeing what that's going for again. For the start of next week, the high pressure is up to the north, but everything's very slack, and this would be actually quite a mild sort of situation. But going beyond this, the high pressure then really starts to develop over the country. Again, it's not quite as cold to this setup as the ECMWF. The ECMWF is on its own this morning, really, with being a very cold setup for the time of year. But nevertheless, we do finish up with the Canadian model taking that high pressure up towards Greenland and Iceland, having these areas of low pressure forming to the south of the country, and again these could be bringing some really quite heavy snow in across the country if they track far enough north, because this high pressure would block the North Pole. So the charts remain very interesting at the moment. They continue to look really quite interesting indeed. It looks like we're going to have a milder sort of spring-like type pattern really for the first period, start of next week into around middle of next week, but then the chance brings in some much colder air again from the east and the northeast as we go through next week, and probably a growing threat of snow coming in with that. So really quite interesting, but still the winter continues. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.